Army is pretty simple, right? You got to beat Army twice, don't you?
Yes. It's a big series, and anybody that tells you if you're at a service academy and you're coaching or you're associated with a service academy, anybody that tells you it's not a big series is lying. They're lying. The big game, big series, it matters. And these service academy games are interesting. The road team, we play sports at a very competitive level, and everybody's a dangerous animal to the service academies. But these service academy matchups, the visiting team is even a more dangerous animal. I think they get away from the everyday chaotic life that they live at an academy. They get out of there. They travel here. We travel there. You get some rest. You get a chance to just focus on whatever sport that you're doing. And at least I can tell you, in our sport, the visiting team has matter-of-factly been not only a dangerous animal, but they've done a lot of damage. We've went into West Point as a lower seed twice recently and ended their season. They came in here last year and took 4 of 6 points. We don't need to go any further than what happened last Saturday up at Empower Field. It is what it is. These games, these series, they take on a life of their own, and you better be guarded because everybody comes to play for these games.
Your early season schedule is pretty difficult. How much has it prepared you for this weekend and even going forward?
Well, you know what? That's a good question. And we came back from Niagara. We had splits up to that point, and we did have a very difficult schedule. I up until last week, I don't know the 2 Niagara games, but we had our strength of schedule was 17th in the nation, which is pretty good. And the 2 losses against CC and Denver hurt, but to be honest with you, they were better than us. And CC came right in here, took advantage of what we gave them, and did what good teams do. They used this against us, and they beat us fair and square. We went up to Denver and played a better game, and Denver, I think, is a more talented team, in all due respect to CC. And we played a better game up there, but couldn't get a bounce. And they did what good teams do, and they found a way to get it done as well. We went out to Niagara, and we took some baby steps. And where are we right now? I don't know. That's the question. I challenged the boys in the bus when we got off the bus from Buffalo on Sunday, and I said, successful weekend, not a successful weekend. It all depends on where we go from here. And are we going to go into this series and get things done against West Point, or are we going to struggle? And so everything that's led up to this point, Rob, I think is it all depends on how this weekend goes. Have we made progressive steps? We're going to find out. It's all out there. There's been some good. There's been some not so good. And we went on the road and we got 2 of 4 points. We had an opportunity to get more. They came back. Niagara came back, a desperate team on Saturday, and found a way to get that win. And where do we go from here? That's where it's at. Where do we go from here?
And off of that question, nice to finally meet you, Coach. Corey Roldan, KKTV. Off of that question, what do you feel like your strengths are right now?
Well, I like our competitive depth, and we've got a couple of injuries. Adams and Lester are out right now. Adams, we need to get him back. He broke his finger, but everybody else is healthy. I like our competitive depth. We're starting to compete better as a team. We've gotten good goaltending from Blessing. So in looking at our team, I like our overall competitive depth, and if we can, become a better team and start playing better collectively, I think I'm very confident this team is going to more than just make some noise come the second half of the season.
And what is that going to take? What is it going to take? What are you missing right now that's going to take for all the pieces to come together?
We just need a little bit more out of everybody, and we need to get a little bit better. I've said it right from the get-go. Like, college hockey is really a really high level of play, and there's only 62, 64, 60 there's only 60 some teams, and there's more players that can play than there are lockers available. You couple that with the 5-year COVID cycle. There's just an inordinate amount of older players. The market's saturated with older players in depth, and like, everybody's deep, everybody's good. The transfer portal has allowed goalies to move around like we've seen quarterbacks in college football, and everybody has a good goalie. So what's it going to take? Hey, we got to get better because everybody else is good. It's just it's college hockey's never been better than it is right now. And I've said it before, over 1/3 of the players playing in the NHL right now are coming from college hockey. And, that's pretty good. That's a pretty big statement.
Coach, you mentioned, for whatever rhyme or reason, when a military school goes to the other school and they're on the road, they seem to fare well. Is it simply because maybe they're happy to be away from military life for a moment or two, or do you have a theory as to why they do so well on the road?
Well, I think it's a combination of all those things. I think, like, you get away from the chaos that is everyday life at an academy. Your sleep deprivation, you're not getting the rest. Hey, you're getting a lot more rest. When we go to our West Point and play Army, our guys are getting a lot more rest than they are if they're here. Hey, if we're here, when we're here, our guys are going to school on Friday. We got lucky this Friday; it's Veterans Day. But ordinarily, we're going to school up until noon, and then they're trying to get a nap, and they're coming in and they're racking it up against a West Point team or a Navy team or whoever it is that's been in a Marriott for 2 days. So no, there's no question about it. You get away, you get a chance to get some rest, you get a chance to focus 100% on your sport, your opponent, the upcoming game. No, it's the road team in a service academy matchup is a mega dangerous animal.
And then what does Army do well that maybe concerns you this weekend?
First of all, they're well coached. Like, they've got Brian Riley and Zach McKelvey are two of the best operators in the game, and they've got a good Army team. I know it doesn't show in their record right now, but if you get right down to it, what keeps me awake at night, they're going to come in well prepared, well coached. And we're going to have to be ready for some wrinkles that they're going to surely put in for this series. And then the other thing that really keeps me awake at night, they got a really good power play. Really good power play. They scored 5 goals last weekend collectively over the 2 games against RIT. 4 of them were power play goals. We got to stay out of the penalty box. And when we are, we got to win some face-offs, and we got to minimize their in-zone time because they got some – They put a dangerous group of 5 on the ice on their power play.